Okay, you guys. So the biggest thing with charting, it doesn't have to be hard, okay? Okay, good. There's lots of you guys getting on. I know I chatted with some of you guys earlier about it. So the biggest thing with charting is remember, when you look at like an executive chart or a Ruby chart, Emerald, Diamond, honestly, when I joined, I honestly just printed out the Diamond chart right away. And it can seem overwhelming. It can. But remember, that doesn't mean that you're signing up all those people. You don't have to sign up all those people, right? The biggest thing what you want to do is help your team, right? So say I sign up Cindy, and a lot of people don't know this, right? So I'm just going to share some tricks and stuff, what you want to do when you're charting. I had one of the girls come over the other day. I had one of my girls come over today. And you know what? The biggest thing is just ask for help, because it can get confusing. But once you figure out how it all works, it's really not that hard. But you need to know how to chart in order to promote, right? Because literally, guys, when I joined, remember, I had an upline who didn't show me anything. So I literally didn't know about moving distributors and moving customers. I had like all these people on my top line. I just didn't know what I was doing. And most people just don't know that, right? So the biggest thing when people join is you want to make sure you have a chart out, because if you don't know your roadmap, you're not going to promote, because you don't really know where you're going, right? It's like if you're trying to go somewhere and you don't have directions and you're just kind of guessing, right? So print out your chart. So whether you want to chart with, I say everybody should at least start with a Ruby chart, because that way, to go executive, you need 2 distributors underneath you, okay? And they both need to be at 400 volume, okay? When you go Ruby, it gets a little bit, there's more people, right? So Cindy sorry, I had charts printed out, but I'm just going to explain it. So for Cindy, so she's going to go Ruby. She's going to have 3 people on her top line, okay? And one of them is going to be an executive and is going to have 2 distributors underneath them, okay? I also have a video I'm going to share on the training page after that Denise does, because she has like a whiteboard and everything and explains everything. But the biggest thing is if you have question ever moving people, say you sign up a distributor and you don't know where to move them, please come to myself or your upline. Or if you have customers and you don't know where to move them, just ask us. Because I remember, honestly, when I joined, I had no idea. Oh, thank you. There, Cindy's all ready. Oh, Tan, do you want to screen share?
And while it's not off the master, at the top of the stairs is a wraparound.
What's that?
Wow.
Tan, you're going to screen share? Oh, look at you. Oh, good job. Thanks, Tan. It's all ready for us. Okay, so look, you guys. So an executive, like I said, is 2 distributors underneath you, okay? Those are those 2 people, okay? They both need to have 400 volume. So when you're starting, you know what? Anyone can go executive and then Ruby and then Diamond, because once you start bringing distributors, once you go Ruby, you can go all the way to the top, okay? And I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, but our job every month is to bring in distributors and customers, right? And say you're really good at bringing distributors in and you have other people good at bringing in customers, you don't have to be good at everything. So don't worry if you're one of those people that's really good at bringing in customers. Help your team, get distributors and keep helping everybody on your team, okay? So you're going to have 3 people on your top line at 400 volume. Okay, so the 400 volume is going to come from, auto ship, orders, but loyal customers, right? So, the average, that's why we want everyone getting their loyal customers, right? So you should be having everybody set up online parties or, parties, face-to-face with people. So, because your goal is you want people to get to 400 volume. It's good for them, it's good for you, and that's how you're going to promote. So always help your downlines. But if you have someone on your downline who's maybe not working with you, don't worry about that. Just focus on bringing in new people, okay? So then once you have 3 people on your top line, okay, say you're already set for executive, then to go Ruby, you have an executive and they have 2 distributors underneath them, okay? And in your e-suite, we can move people and, it can be kind of confusing. So please just ask if you're moving someone, but it's really not that hard. So the biggest thing, you guys, is when you're charting, remember that, for example, when I went Diamond, I signed up. I thought of people right away that I wanted in my business, okay? Some of them ignored me. Some of them joined me. And I have a lot of people who eventually joined, okay? Help those people bring in distributors, Okay, so it's me. I signed up Megan. I helped Megan talk to people who brought in people. Then we helped that person bring in people. And it's a duplicatable system, right? Don't look at a diamond chart and think that you have to sign up all those people, because that's not the case at all. But you have to help your team, because when your team starts promoting and everybody working together, that's when the magic starts happening in this business, okay? But don't think someone below you. A lot of people just don't know what they're doing, okay? Or a lot of people will just join and not really care, right? So there's going to be people like that. But the biggest, hello? I don't know who that was. But the biggest thing is that every single month when you follow the steps to success, okay? So loyal customer 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? That's your goal every month, to bring in 4 customers. You don't have to sign up 30 customers every month. You want it to be duplicatable, so something that your team can do every month, okay? And your goal is to bring in 3 distributors every month, okay? So say you're one of those people like me. I usually bring in more distributors, or my customers turn into distributors. But then what you usually focus on is what's going to happen, okay? Tan, do you have a diamond chart by chance? It's all ready for me. Thank you. Oh, you're just the best. Okay. So you guys are looking at a diamond chart, and I know for me, when I first joined, this was very intimidating to me. But if you think about it, it's really not when you learn how it all works, okay? So I'll tell you how I went diamond. I literally signed up someone who was my emerald, okay? Her name was Megan. And then I signed up 4 or 5 other people. I kept those people on my top line. And then I started helping people bring in distributors and customers. So Megan, for example, started bringing in people. And then I would talk to her downline. And then we would do parties. And then we would just keep helping everybody down the chart, okay? But, there are going to be people who join and they just don't want to connect with you, or they don't want to work. Honestly, don't work with those people, because I was talking with one of my girls. And you know what? She has a chart that, it's pretty full, but there's a lot of people who aren't working. So in a situation like that, I would rather find 2 people in my entire chart who want to work, right, Tan? I'm just saying Tan because she's smiling at me. Then have a whole bunch of people who aren't doing anything. So focus on, especially when you're going diamond, focus on who's going to be your emerald, and then focus on another person who's going to be your ruby. So underneath your emerald, you're going to have 2 rubies, okay? So you're going to have 1 ruby on this side, and you're going to have 1 ruby on the other side, and then you're going to have another ruby outside of your emerald, and then you're going to have 3 people on your top at 400 volume, okay?
You're basically building an emerald, building a ruby, and 3 qualified links.
Exactly. And your rubies don't have to be at 400. Only the boxes that say, well, actually, why doesn't this one say 400? One of them is missing a 400. But all the gray boxes, that's funny, hey? All the gray boxes have to be 400 volume, okay? But the ruby, the executive, the emerald, the diamond, they don't need to be 400 volume, okay? They just have to be commission qualified. So 80 BV auto ship or 150 personal volume, okay? And you guys, I know this sounds confusing, and so that's why you want to ask. That's why you want to just learn as much as possible. There's so many charting videos. Denise is very green. I'm not so green. I'm green sometimes. But Denise is very laid out and explains the compensation and everything. I don't like to overcomplicate it, because that, for me, it's too complicated for some people, right? I'd rather keep it simple, okay? So remember that the more rubies that come in, that is how you're going to keep promoting, okay? So you always want, like I said, I had my diamond chart out right away. And once I went diamond, I had my double chart out. Once I was getting my double chart, I had my triple. So you always want to keep thinking about the next promotion, okay? But if you don't have it out in front of you, you can go out of this now if you want. Does anyone have any questions about this? Because I feel like you guys, a lot of the time, people join and they look at their chart and they see all these random people. Don't worry about the people who aren't working. I mean, if you have a couple people who are Sorry, I had people messaging me. Shocker. If you have people on your chart who aren't working, maybe they're not responding to you, they just don't show that they care, work with someone else. I would much rather work with someone on my team who's all in. Okay. Maybe you have 0 distributors right now. Maybe you have a couple who aren't working. Maybe you're built for Ruby or Emerald or Diamond. But focus on the people. Say, listen, I want to promote to Diamond, or I want to promote to Ruby. Are you in with me? And if you don't have any distributors yet, don't worry, because I know a lot of people don't, and that's totally fine. But you just need 2 distributors to promote to executive. I went from executive to Diamond in 1 month because I was really helping other people bring in distributors. So if you ever have potentials and you want myself or any of your leaders to talk to them, please just ask us, because that is how, honestly, we do sign up a lot of distributors. I know I do that whole third party with a lot of people. I actually do it a lot, right? So say Cheryl or Tam.
Did we do a three-way call? I think we did when I joined. Didn't we?
Yeah, we totally did.
I think we did.
Totally did. Because Tan signed up with someone I met, you guys, on Instagram, who's no longer in the business, which is fine. And that happens lots, you guys. The person who signed me up never spoke to me again, you know, so it happens, right? Sorry, I just muted you. But so the biggest thing is you need to have your charts printed out if you are serious about promoting. So like I said, I had to go Diamond. So I had my chart printed out. I asked questions like crazy because I had no clue what I was doing. No clue. But as soon as I realized what I wanted and what amount I needed. So say you want to make $2,000. Okay, that's Diamond, roughly, 2,000 American. It's more for us Canadians, okay? And then once you go Diamond, that's when you start unlocking the compensation plan. And I'm not going to get into compensation plan because that gets kind of crazy, right? But once you go Diamond, you know, it's crazy. Yeah, Nikki, a lot of us, you know what, honestly, I didn't start learning a lot until I was double Diamond, really. I understand how the compensation plan all works now. So that's why, honestly, just ask questions. You don't need to know everything. If you're really green, maybe you do need to know everything. But don't worry. Just focus on what you need and where you want to go. But you really want to help your team. I know there's a lot of people who don't even talk to all their downline. It's going to be hard to promote if you're not talking to your downline, okay? So work with the people who want it. And say you have, maybe you have 5 people who are working and then 10 people who aren't. That's totally fine. You just need 5 people to go all the way to the ambassador. And of course, them working, right? So don't worry if you sign up people. You guys, I've signed up so many people who don't even reply to me. It happens all the time. So don't think that, you know I was chatting with one of the girls today. She signed up a lot of people during the $9.99. A lot of those people just joined because maybe they wanted the free kit, right? Or the cheap kit, right? Or the $9.99 wraps, right? So basically, I know a lot of you guys had questions about charting. I didn't want to keep this super long because I know the last Zoom kind of went longer. But who has questions about charting and, how their eSuite works? I know a lot of you guys use, I love to use, honestly, I use TreeViewer and I like to write things out. I should show you guys my ambassador chart.
I have ice water.
What?
I don't know who that is. Hi. But I have a huge ambassador chart and I like to write things down. A lot of people, I know lots of the French girls, Caroline, a lot of the people like to use their beta chart in their eSuite. I like to write things down because then I can know where everything is, right? The beta chart is great, but it's confusing for a lot of people. It was confusing for me, so I just never used it. But I know a lot of people love to use it, right? So I like to print out my chart. I know where everybody is. I know who's serious. I know who doesn't care. And I focus on the people who want the business, the people who are consistent, the people who have big goals and whys. And you know what? Honestly, if you don't have a distributor yet, I know I'm looking at some of you guys who don't yet, don't even worry about that because you can sign up someone tomorrow. You could be boxed for executive or Ruby in 1 week, I know lots of girls who come into the business, you guys, and they really need to get to Ruby. They start doing parties. They start, signing up. Tell your friends you want them on your team. I literally joined and I told people, I talked to 5 people right away that I wanted on my team. Okay. Some of them joined, like I said, some of them ignored me. And you know what? it depends on your network too, right? I mean, sometimes it might take a little bit longer, but you need to ask people to join your team. Don't just put up a couple posts on Facebook about the products and say, no one's joining my team. You have to really put yourself out there. You have to tell people where you're going. You have to tell people what your goals are. Because from day one, I was good at signing up distributors just because I had watched someone and I did what she did, basically, because what she was doing really enticed me. So that's how I started signing up distributors, just kind of watching her, right? So the biggest thing is if you're working on social media, you have to be really consistent. You have to be excited. You have to be passionate about what you're doing, and you have to tell people you have to offer people the opportunity. I talk about the opportunity at least twice a day on Facebook. And then I'm talking to people behind the scenes too. And those relationships do take time, so don't put up an opportunity post maybe once a week and wonder why you're not getting distributors. You really, really have to put yourself out there, and follow top people. Follow people. I know I have a list on the training, which people to follow. Watch your
follow, but don't comment and like.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't comment and like or friend people. Or if you're going to watch a live video, wait till it's done. But you guys, there's so many top earners to follow. I mean, we have top earners on this team too. So you go back and look through people's posts and make it your own, switch it up, and I'm not saying copy, be you, right? Be you, but find out what works for you and remember why you joined. What was the person doing that made you want to join? Because what you put out there, is gonna, what you put out into the universe is what's going to attract people, right? Don't be negative. Don't have a crappy attitude. Don't put anything bad on Facebook. People don't want to join people like that. People want to join people, like I said, who are going places, who are really sure what they want. Even if you're not confident about really what you're doing yet, all I knew is that I was excited and I had to make money, honestly. I'm honest with people about that too. I tell people my story. And if you don't have a story yet of why you joined, you need to get a story, okay? Meaning you need to have a why, because people are going to join you based on, you can't just message them and be like, join my team, it's $99.99 and, it's going to change your life. People are going to join you because of what it's doing for your life and what it's doing for other people, right? So you have to put that out there. Yeah, Tan?
Charting tip 2, back to charting a little bit.
Yeah.
When you're looking at those 400 boxes, you guys, what I've done so for those of you that are actually charting, you're sitting down and you're charting and you're projecting your volumes for the month, when you're looking at 400 volumes, that gets overwhelming. So what I do is I think about it as a product. I'm like, oh, this box needs 200 points, right?
Yeah.
This box needs 2 systems. Who do I know that needs to go on the system? Do you know what I mean? And I break it down into product. Then it doesn't seem so crazy. Because when you're looking at charts, and you're running for Ruby even, and you're looking at those boxes and you're working your little tail off and you're trying to get those boxes to 400, it can be so overwhelming when we're looking at it as volume. When I found when I broke it down into product, that X box needs 2 hair, skin, and nails or 2 greens. Do you know what I mean? And then I could kind of set out my month all right, I know I need this many hair, skin, and nails challenge people. I know I need this many system. And I would just break it down into product, and then I could kind of, work on that product. If I need that much volume, I'm talking about the system because it's 100 points.
Yeah.
Right? I don't look at just volume, it's points. What's giving me the best points? Who can I target to get those points and just find them and product. For me, that works better.
Exactly. And you know what? And going back to what Tan just said, I know I talked to a couple people earlier. A couple people had sent me their charts, asking me questions about things. And I had one person that said, oh, I'm waiting for this person. Don't wait for people to promote. Don't wait, oh, I need Sally to go, Ruby for me to go to you. If you are working for a promotion, you need to make it happen. Okay.
If you are always rebuilding, you'll never promote.
You'll never promote ever. Don't even look at that.
Filling boxes and rebuilding, but you'll never promote. You won't. You'll sit and you'll spin your wheels.
And you learn that. And you learn that. I learned that. I learned that. So when you look at your chart, don't feel overwhelmed about it, but help your team. Reach out to people on your team, because there's a lot of people I see that aren't even talking to certain people on their team, and then I know that those people are trying to promote, and I'm like, okay, well, why isn't that person talking to that person? And then I will tell you there are people on your team who You might think they want to work the business and then maybe they don't, right? So tell people what your goals are. Focus on the ones who want it. Because like I said, imagine if every single person on our team worked. It doesn't happen like that. I mean, it would be great. We'd all be ambassadors by now. But it doesn't work like that, right? So there's a small percentage of people who really, really want it and want to go diamond and up, okay? But then there's going to be those people who maybe try for a month and they're like, oh, I'm not rich yet. And then they stop working, right? There are people like that, right? None of us, because we're perfect. But the biggest thing is that if you need to go ruby, if you need to go diamond, you need to make it happen. Like my goal to go ambassador, it's not up to Sally and Jenny. It's up to me to help those people. It's up to me to get, certain people and help them go diamond and ruby or, executive and bring in those distributors. If I know I need to, bring in like 4 distributors and help this person, I'm going to help Jenny, do parties. I'm going to help Sally, do parties at her house or help her with, potentials. That's the biggest thing. The biggest way to how to promote in this business. And again, the person who signed me up never spoke to me again. So it wasn't up to her to build my business for me. It wasn't. It was up to me to bring in distributors and then help those people. And then those people help those people. Like it's a duplicatable system what we have. You can't look at a ruby and a diamond chart and think, oh my gosh, I need to sign up 1 million people and do it all on my own. You have to, the important thing is about you being a leader and helping your team. But again, not everybody is going to work the business. Okay. So focus on, if you have 2 people in your diamond chart, focus on those 2 people. You never know. Maybe they both want to go diamond. Maybe they're ready. I know a lot of you guys might have huge charts and no one working. That's okay. Focus on 1 or 2 people. And those of you who don't have distributors yet, don't worry about that. Focus on bringing 2 people you really want in your business and say, listen, are you ready to do this with me? And then just work with those people. You can go diamond in a couple months. You can. I did it. I went diamond in 3 months. I had people quit. I had a girl, honestly, she could totally have been an ambassador, but she quit after a couple months, right? So you really need to focus and find people who want to do this with you.
And get your charts out. Like for you guys that don't have distributors, get out your executive charts. Get them out.
That's the only way.
Put somebody's name in there. Who is it? Who's the dream team? Who's on that chicken list that you haven't asked yet? Put their name in the box.
Because if you don't see it, you guys, it's so much hard. Like I'm a visual person. I need to see things. Like if you guys saw my ambassador chart, you'd probably like, oh my God. But I look at it now and it's not overwhelming at all because I've gone through, I started with a diamond chart, then double, then triple, then president. And now I look at my chart. I know which people are who are serious. I know which people are wanting to promote. I help and focus on those. I don't do it for them. But I focus on, don't yell. She's intense, right? Tan, your eyebrows look nice too. They look darker. I like them. Or maybe she's saying,
drawn in. They're just drawn in, babe.
But the biggest thing is, you guys, you need to focus on the people who want it, right? Like, for example, Robin, I was actually talking about you earlier. So when a couple months into the business, quite a while into the business or so, I had signed up one of my best friends, and then Robin had joined, and I moved Robin underneath my best friend. And then when it was time, for that, leg to go diamond, it was Robin who was serious and all in. My friend, she didn't really care. So I focused on Robin. I wasn't going to focus on my friend who didn't care. I still love her. She's so happy for me in the business, but she basically just joined for fun and she buys the product here and there. She's a teacher. She loves what she does, So my goal was to focus on Robin because Robin really wanted it, and then she had a bunch of girls who are rock stars, who still are rock stars, So, just because I have a lot of friends in the business who joined who didn't care, but I'm not going to help those people build their business if they don't care. If they don't care, why do you care, right? So I would much rather, and I had a girl who came over to my house today, I would much rather help someone who was way on the bottom of my chart and talk to them and help them build their business than help Sally, who's my best friend since I was 2. I just made that person up. I don't know who that is, who doesn't care, right? So work with the people who really want it And if you're brand new and you're still looking for distributors, just get out your chart and, look at a Ruby chart. If you need to go Ruby or you need to go Diamond, look where you need to go. Look at the people you need to work with. And I actually was on this leadership page. You should be, if you're wanting to promote, you should be talking to your leaders all the time. Because you can't expect Sally to know that you want to go Diamond and she needs to be Ruby. Like, it's not up to her. If you want to go Diamond, it's up to you, right? She's not going to be like, oh, well, Tanis needs me to go Ruby. I better get on this. It's up to you to help her, right? And realize what she needs. Because a lot of times people just don't even realize, What did Tracy say? I'm going to do an online. Oh, you're going to do an online vendor event? Like an online party, you mean? Is that what you mean? I don't know. Or a vendor. Are you guys doing a vendor event like at somewhere? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Tracy? It's okay. Does anyone have any questions about charting and what they should do? Honestly, every single person needs to have their chart out, whether you've just started or maybe you're regrouping. And if you're confused, that's okay, because I got to Diamond so confused and I just asked my upline what to do with people. Oh, awesome. Hi, Cindy.
Hi. Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so when you do have, more than, enough people underneath you, there's like a couple different ways you can chart Diamond, right? Like, it's not just like one flow. There's a couple of different ways you can do it. And the only reason I say that is because I had a chart for Diamond, and then Robin helped me and did one for Diamond, and ours are different, but they both go Diamond. So it's not always that it's the same way.
Well, you just need an emerald in one leg.
Yeah, who you're.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Are going to be.
So when we had that diamond, Tan, can you put the diamond chart up again?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds.
So I know exactly what you're talking about, Cindy. So, and this is where people get confused, okay?
Yeah.
So this is, and I know what you're asking. I know what your chart looks like and everything. So you can have a ruby, okay? So you guys saw the diamond chart. It doesn't need to be exactly like that. The cool thing about our compensation plan is that, okay, so in your ruby leg, it doesn't need to be, can you just put it on your ruby? Okay. It doesn't need to be this person that goes ruby. It can be one of your 400 legs that is a ruby, okay? It doesn't need to be this person. It could be someone way on the bottom who goes ruby, okay? Same thing goes for your emerald chart, okay? It can be, a ruby over the executive over here.
Rises,
ruby. Yeah.
The cream rises to the top, right?
Exactly, okay?
So if you've got, let's say you've got Sally who is sitting here, okay? You see Cindy? And she doesn't end up commission qualified. Let's say she's not working her business. She's on your chart there, but she's not doing nothing. There's nothing going on with her. But then this Kelly down here decides she's going to run and she builds a ruby chart. She can be your ruby. It doesn't matter where it comes from, as long as you've got, right, which is why we say that diamond chart is 1 emerald, 1 ruby, and 3 qualified legs. Yeah. It doesn't matter where it comes from, as long as the cream rises, because these guys aren't working their business. So the cream will rise up, right?
Yeah, it can be those
if
two
anything,
people.
They become a 400 bucks. If this person decides they're not working anymore, Cindy, all of this, if all this ruby chart doesn't work and they've got a couple loyal customers, at least they might be a 400 bucks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's where I kind of get confused.
They have to be separate legs, Cindy. They have to be separate legs. You can't have a ruby and another ruby under that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. And in this situation, you're talking about Amanda and Stella. Yeah. I'm talking about when we're not sure which way it's going, how do I know where to put new orders, loyal customers? That's where I get confused.
Well, the thing is, you don't really, you have to, I would work with whoever is working their business. So when you're thinking of where you're going to place, think of who's working their business.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
and
then-
that's
yeah,
the thing.
so then I did it right the other day.
I will never ever move a customer or a distributor to someone who isn't working ever. And I mean, sometimes I want to help people and I can't, right? I'm never ever going to put a customer or a distributor underneath someone who doesn't care about their business, unless, say, I need Mike
Right.
at 400 to promote or something, or to help Robin. Say Robin's promoting and she needs Mike somewhere and I need her promoting, or I need to help her. I'm going to help Mike go 400, right? And the cool thing about our compensation plan, you guys, is that you want to move customers, you want to move distributors. The only time I ever keep customers is if I just really don't need to move. I mean, I always honestly move everybody. And for the most part, if people are, trying to get Fast Start qualified, or they're trying to get, their shopping spree, but I'm never just going to move people to someone just because. I mean, they have to deserve it, right? I mean, I've never gotten a customer or distributor or volume from anyone, and I'm happy I didn't, because I learned how to work the business on my own. Yes, it's all in your eSuite.
I know.
Your charts. But, and the thing is, I'm happy that I can help people, and that's your job is to help your team, right? But you guys remember my upline, she didn't, okay, so it's me, and then there's my upline, and then there's like 4 people in between there. Then there's Steph, then there's Jackie, then there was a Cynthia, and then there's Denise, okay? So all those people in between, and then there's me and all of us, right? So again, and we're like the fastest growing team, right? So it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, why would Steph or Jackie, they would never put a distributor underneath me. Why would they? They would never. Like, they would focus on somewhere outside of me, because they don't need me to be anywhere, because, our team's taking off so much, right? So the biggest thing is I know it can be confusing, but that's why when every single person joins, you want to get them on the training. I know for me, there is a lot of training. I know it can be overwhelming if you're a brand new distributor, or if you're new. You don't need to know everything. Honestly, do not, unless you're some people and they really need to know everything. I wasn't one of those people. I just knew I had to get my 4 customers. I just wanted to start growing my team, but I didn't even know about charting. I didn't understand anything, because I just didn't, but that was up to me, right? So as soon as I printed out my diamond chart, and I was like, oh my gosh. But then when I figured it out, it's not that, oh, I know Sandy's promoting. Who else is there is a lot of you guys promoting this month. Yay. And anyone can do it. I went executive to diamond in 1 month, but I was really hustling because I really wanted to get that diamond and I needed to make the income. So if you guys are close to a promotion, don't wait for it to happen, because I feel like a lot of people just wait and kind of, wait for it to happen. And, sometimes it's just not the right time, and that's okay. Like they say, just because someone slashes one tire doesn't mean you just slash the other 3, right? So if it doesn't happen 1 month, just keep going for that goal. I know Chelsea says that sometimes, just because you don't get the promotion at that exact time doesn't mean you can't get it next month, right? A lot of girls are so close to promotions, they don't even realize it. I try and go through everybody's charts, but most of the time people who are working, they just come to me and ask for help, right? But make sure that people know what they're doing, especially if you're signing people up and you don't need, just ask us. I'll go look at your chart, tell you where to put a distributor, I'm going to do what's best for you, obviously, because I want everyone promoting, obviously. When you're projecting volume and stuff, I mean, that can be a little confusing. I know roughly every month what my volume is, just because I kind of know, and I know what my paychecks are just because they kind of stay the same. But the more distributors you bring in, the more customers you bring in, the more people you're helping on your team, that's how you're going to promote. And don't wait for distributors and customers to come. Don't wait for promotions. You have to go out and get those promotions. Otherwise, it doesn't just fall in your lap. I wouldn't just fall on my lap and become diamond, And I think a lot of people wait, So if you really need ruby or diamond to happen, you need to realize what you need, ask your upline for help. And if your upline doesn't work, come to your next person. But it's really not hard once you figure it out. but I know it can be totally confusing looking at a chart and you're like, oh my God, what are all these people? And you know, a lot of times people, it's like the last day of the month and things all come together, you know? So if you're looking at your chart right now and you're close to a promotion, you still have like almost 2 weeks left in the month, you know? You can make it happen, but don't wait till the last day to do a party. You know, I was talking to a girl and she's like, oh, let's do a party in November. I'm like, in November? Let's do it next. Like, let's do it now, you know? Because, you know, I'm still working on my promotion and I'm not waiting, but I'm going to promote when my team is ready. Right. So, make sure that you're always, we have our party. Yes. We're going to have our party every Wednesday night. You guys, our team party. Thank you, Tan, for setting that up. And just remember, like, if you have questions about anything, that's what the team page is for. That's what the chats are for. We have the best support and no question that you ask is dumb, but you have to ask us. And, you know, if you need our help, because I don't know if Sally needs my help or Jenny, like, you know, I don't know what everybody needs. So you need to come to us and ask for help. And you also need to, oh, good. Look at all these parties set up. And that's the biggest thing, you guys. Honestly, online parties, face-to-face wrapping people, vendor events, social media. I'm not saying you have to master and do everything, but don't keep doing one thing if it's not working for you. You know, what's the saying, Albert Einstein, doing the same thing over and over again with no results and expecting a different outcome. You know, like, it's stupid. It's a waste of your time. You're wasting your time, right? So everybody who's on here obviously wants to,
insanity.
It's the definition of insanity. Yeah, thank you. See, you guys both know that. So the biggest thing is you guys are here and you want to promote, obviously, right? So get your charts printed out, whether you're brand new and you're looking for, but if you don't have your chart out, you don't know what you need. You know, it's like running a race, a marathon, you know. You need to have your roadmap out in front of you, because that's how you're going to promote. You're going to know that Danette needs this, Steph needs this person needs this, right? And ask for help from your uplines. Like, anyone, honestly, if you need help with anything, of course, go to your diamond upline first, please. But if you ever need help, like, you know, ask the next person. You know, if you don't have a diamond upline, you know, of course, come to myself and ask on the team page. I love it when people are asking questions, because then everybody else sees. You know, I put up that on the training, what everybody's challenges are, because then I can answer back people's, you know, questions, and then everybody sees everybody's, because we all have our strengths and weaknesses. So don't ever feel like anything stupid. Like, I remember asking some of the craziest questions. So now when people ask me stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's good that you're just asking. Like, you know, you can't expect to know everything. Okay. I'm still learning 2.5 years later. Right. So find out what works for you, but you need to have your chart out. Does anyone have any questions on charting and how it all works? Basically, as soon as you bring in a distributor, you're going to move them unless you need them on your top. Okay. So if you're just brand new, you're going to have executive. You're going to have one person here, one person underneath you. And then you're going to go Ruby, 3 people on your top line, and then with 1 executive with 2 people underneath them. That's 5 distributors. And then Emerald is basically another Ruby. Diamond is another Ruby. And then you're going to go double, triple, and then it's just more rubies. Ambassador is 54 rubies. Sounds like a lot. Oof. I don't break it down that way. I break it down by legs. I break it down. I need a presidential, 2 triples, 2 doubles. And it doesn't happen overnight. Okay. I've been in East Find Church. The charts? I'll help you find them. They're just an eSuite. I'll message you after. But yeah, like, you have to have your chart out. And even if you just, like, I know some girls just like to write everything down. They don't even have the charts printed out. They just have scribbles, whatever works for you, but just write people's names down. Like my ambassador chart, I won't even show it to you. You guys are gonna be like, oh my God, it's crazy. It's just crazy. But I have everybody written down because I know where everybody is. I mean, you can't tell me who Jenny is and how much volume she is right now, right? But like, I know where everybody is because it's like all in my brain all day. There. Okay, you guys, it's in your eSuite. In documents. We also have them on the team page too in files. Yeah, use the search. It's there. They're there. Honestly, learning to run your eSuite is the best thing. Nikki, if you guys can't find them, let me know, okay? But we also have everything on the team pages, you guys. Go in the search button. Say you're looking for, I don't know, Stephanie Dunn Zoom. You can click that in the search bar. It pops up. You guys can watch Zooms. I put what we have every week going on. You don't need to get on everything, you guys. Please know that. You don't have to get on
When are we
everything.
going to do the mic Zoom, Tess?
Oh, I need to do that. When do you guys want to do that?
Like soon. I've been waiting.
I know. They had their I was supposed to message his assistant the other day. Yeah, I'll find a day. Oh, look at all these pictures. Oh, I like when people, I like that thing where you can decide whether you want to be tagged in it or not. You know? I used to have people tag me and stuff, and I was like, they're like looking all funny. Now I can decide if I want to have it on my page. I'm like, oh my God, I look like a monster. But you guys, the biggest thing is I want you guys to know that we all started the same way. So I have a lot of girls, you guys, who promote and they have no idea how to chart, and I just help them where to place people. But they do the work, and I just help them and tell them where to place, you know? Or I had one of my diamonds ask me the other day, she had signed up someone. She asked me where I recommended to put the person, right? Because she already is going, you know, for her double and everything and where she's going. So she brought in this other person, and I gave her a couple different options on what she should do. And then she made the decision where to place the girl. Oh, good. I'm glad this is helpful. Yeah, I know it is confusing, but really when you start, that's why when you see the chart out in front of you, I'm a very visual person, you know? That way when you see it out in front of you, you know you need A, B, C, and then A needs those two people, A and B, right? So, and how you move them in your eSuite, it sounds confusing, but it's really not when you figure out how to do it. It's really not hard to do, okay? That's where you move customers. That's where you move distributors. And you always want to move people because that's where that's how you're going to promote, you know? You can't expect everybody below you to work. So you have to put in the work and help those people. Does anybody have any other questions about anything? I know it's almost 10 o'clock here.
No, but can I say something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We do want to move everybody. That's all I've done since pretty much since I went Ruby. Everybody I've enrolled has gone under somebody else, whether it be distributors or loyal customers. But I wanted to tell you guys that what I learned today is, like in the last week, I've enrolled 2 new LCs. If you move them under somebody else, you know that bonus thing that they have going on, the points?
It doesn't count.
It goes, it doesn't count.
It that person, yeah.
You lost them. Yeah, so every loyal customer that you enroll and move to somebody else, you no longer get that point. And the same with distributors. So, you know, if you're doing this, you're not doing this for those points.
Yeah, exactly. And I like, Cindy, I like that you said that because we had stuff like this happen before, and you have to think about it this way. Do you want to get that bonus, or are you working more on promotion? So it really just depends, right? I know for me, yeah, those bonuses are great, but my goal is also promoting. So it really depends, right? You know, but you're right. You don't get it. The other person gets it. So Steph's asking, would you recommend stacking under whoever isn't working or starting new legs? Okay, that's a really, really good question. So stacking, you mean, you guys, basically what stacking means is, say Jenny's not working and she has people, and Steph is asking, do you want to place someone in that leg and basically stack that person and start underneath there, or do you want to start a new leg? Honestly, every single situation is totally different. I stack sometimes. I honestly have my 5 legs, and I haven't started on another leg because my goal is ambassador and then black diamond eventually. I work on J too, but my main goal is my first account, right? So I do like stacking, but it just depends on the situation. So Steph, if you want me to help you with a situation, I'm happy to help. But yeah, I mean, it really depends. I do stack people, basically because for me, it's usually sometimes easier. But say if you have a whole leg that's not working, and that's happened to me too, you can totally start off another leg. And another thing I was saying to one of my girls earlier, you always want to be preparing for the next promotion, because I'll tell you what happens. A lot of people get to double diamond and they haven't started their third leg. And instead of like getting to double diamond, because, you know, we're all going to go ambassador, so I'm just explaining this to you, you always kind of be getting ready for the next promotion, because what happens is that the reason you want all those people kind of getting started is, yeah, you need 2 legs to go double, right? But triple, you need 3, presidential 4, ambassador 5. So say you have 6 months that goes on and you're still working to get, you know, double. But the reason I went double and triple so quickly is because I had that third leg going during that whole time. And then I had my 4th leg going, and then I've had my 5th leg going. So for me to go ambassador, for each promotion, you want to be smart about it. You don't want to just promote just for the sake of promoting. You want your team to be ready too. Like I'm close to my next promotion, but I want my team to be promoting with me, right? Because I want it to go long term, right? So don't need to rush, like, you know, you don't need to go triple diamond next week. That'd be great if you did, but you don't think about it that way. Think of it as building a foundation. So you know what, I just don't want to confuse you guys here, but basically you always want to be thinking about the next promotion, because then you have people working, and then that's how it keeps going. And it sounds confusing, but you know, if you have those 3 legs going, then those 4, and then those 5, you can go ambassador, you know. But when people go diamond and then they haven't started that third leg, it's really hard for them to then go triple, because then to go triple, you need a double and 2 diamonds. Okay. So if they've gone double and they have, you guys probably aren't going to understand this, but I'm just going to explain it quickly. If they've had those 2 legs and they have to wait to start a whole third leg, it could take them a year plus, right, to get that other leg going. But if they have all those legs kind of growing at the same time, then people start promoting, and that's when promotions start happening, right? Because everyone's kind of promoting, right? You don't need to think about that. You're like, Tana, shut up. I don't know what you're talking about. But you just want to think about long term. If your goals are to go double diamond and up, you want to think about that, because I feel like a lot of people don't think about that. And I always kind of thought about that, because my upline was like, okay, you know, Jackie, our presidential above us, she was like, okay, you want to think about that, you know, because she knew my goal was to go ambassador, right? So, you know, ask people, you know, if you need help from your upline, or you want to talk to me, or you want to talk to your diamond upline, just ask them, because everybody works their business differently. There is no right or wrong way, but you do need to move people to promote. I know some people, you guys, who have kept people all in their top line, and then they've just waited till they all tick off. But to me, you could be waiting like a decade for that to happen. So you need to move people to promote. You really do. And it doesn't need to be you all signing up those people. You're welcome, Steph. Does anyone else have any other questions? I know it's 10 o'clock here. It's late for some of you other guys too. But yeah, the biggest thing is I can say is you need to have your chart out, because that's how you're going to promote. People who don't have their charts out in front of them, they don't promote, because they don't have a roadmap, you know? And if I didn't have a chart out, I mean, the person who signed me up, she wasn't going to, like, she didn't work her business. And so you need to have your chart out, because it's your business and your upline's there to help you and work the business with you, of course. But don't expect every single person you sign up to join. But you want to help people on your team who are working for promotions, because that's how you're going to promote quicker. You know, if you know Sally and Jenny want to promote, you should be helping those people and talking to those people. See if you can do parties for those people. Ask them if they need help talking to potentials. You know, there's going to be the people who surprise you too. Like I said, I've had people come into my business who have helped me get to promotions, and those people, you help those people. You know, like I said, I would much rather help someone who really needs this than my best friend who never cared. And she's happy for me, but you know, I wasn't going to help her with her promotion if she wasn't going to work the business with me. So, you know, Pam always says it's easier to give birth than to raise the dead. So don't worry. If you have 20 distributors and they're not doing anything, it's honestly way better to get 2 people in that, or 2 new people or whatever, and help them promote and help run with them. You know, because there's going to be people that stop working. There's going to be people who join and don't do anything. It happens. And you know what? It's fine. Does anyone have any last minute questions for me? I hope that made sense. I didn't want to go too into detail about things. There is a charting and a Zoom about compensation and charting that Denise does, and it's very detailed and intense. But I don't want you guys to run.
I'll throw it up on the training page.
Yeah, thank you. And she actually did one like a couple of weeks ago. It was really good.
Updated, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good, you guys.
I'll share that one, the updated one.
It's when you see the type of income you can make in this business, it's incredible. And again, I'm one of those people, I'm not a real green, which just means I don't know every detail about everything. I'm not very but it doesn't matter. You need to have a little bit of red in you to want to promote. But there's yellows, blues, greens who go all the way. But you need to have that motivation and that drive to want to promote. And what I think all of you do, So you don't need to be met like me. You don't need to be like, Chelsea, Caroline. You don't need to be those people. Just be you and decide on what's going to work for you in your business. And that's what your uplines are there for. That's what our team page and the chats. We have so many pages and chats. And oh my gosh. There's so much going on. So just ask questions. That's what our page is for. You could ask at 4 a.m. and I'll probably be on there to answer. Someone will answer you. God knows I'm always up, right? So someone will answer you. And if someone doesn't answer you, they're just busy. That's why the team pages are so good, because that way everybody learns, right? And if you don't want to ask on the team page, go to your upline or your diamond and up leader. Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much. And for all those who showed up on the other Zoom. And what day is it? It's Thursday. I don't even know what day it is anymore. Thanks, guys. I hope that helped. And if you guys have any questions, thanks, Tan. She's going to put that, and I'll upload this after too. And yeah, it's just good to learn what you need to do, okay? I'm not a green person, but I do know how charting works. I do know how the compensation plan works. I do know what it takes to go ambassador. So it's just, having everything in front of you. You need to know what you need in order to promote. Because if you don't know what you need to promote, you're not going to promote. Okay? So I hope that helps. Bye, guys.